Respect to Showtime analyst Steve Farhood. Excellent performance by Lucas Matthysse tonight. What did you think of his fight with Dallas in the knockout?
Well, fantastic knockout. It's clearly, we're in January, and that's clearly going to be a candidate for knockout of the year because it was a one-punch knockout and it was violent. Okay. But in terms of the big picture, I don't think Matthysse did himself much good tonight because people are going to look at him and say, you know, do I really want to fight this guy? He's not a superstar yet in America, so it's so high risk and maybe not the reward that you should get to fight a guy like that. So, you know, if I'm Danny Garcia, I might say, do I really need this? You know, so I mean, the public will want to see more of Matthysse, and they want to see him in the big fights. But the other junior welterweights, I'm not so sure how they're going to feel about it.
You know, Matthysse has 2 losses, and they were kind of controversial. Could have went either way. Do you think that kind of fueled him in a way and kept pushing him to get higher and climb?
Yeah, you know, in boxing, there's losing and there's losing. You know, how you lose is very significant. And he lost 2 very close decisions. In both fights, he had his opponents on the floor. Guys that are championship fighters, you know, Devin Alexander and Zab Judah. Now Judah's getting a shot with Garcia. Devin Alexander is a champion again. So I think it did fuel him a little bit. And maybe he said, you know what? I don't want to go through this again, so I'm going to get rid of these guys, and then I don't have to worry about the judges.
Talking about Garcia and Judah, how do you break that down? What do you think Zab has left in the tank against a guy like Garcia?
I don't know if Zab can fight 12 intense rounds anymore. Yeah. You know, that might be the problem. He is older, but he does seem much more mature and focused than he used to be. And Danny Garcia, look, he made a lot of his name fighting Eric Morales, who's an older fighter. Slow at this point, not really a 140-pounder. Of course, Garcia did knock out Amir Khan, who beat Zab Judah with a body punch. So you have to make Danny the favorite. But Zab fighting in Brooklyn, I think he knows this is kind of his last deal for the big time. I give him a good shot.
And the Golden Boy, it looks like they might want to try to make a rematch between Khan and Garcia. Matthysse said, listen, I don't want a fight with Matthysse Maidana right now. Richard Schaefer mentioned that fight. Do you think it might come about to where they might have to offer him a good amount of money and then he'll be interested in Matthysse versus Maidana?
Well, Matthysse and Maidana, I think the key to the fight is where does it take place? If it's in America because that's where the money is, that's one thing. If it's in Argentina, I mean, you can do your checking of history. That would be the biggest fight in the history of Argentina. They've had better fighters than Matthysse and Maidana, you know, like Carlos Monzon, but 2 Argentines fighting in Argentina, that would be the biggest fight you could make. I don't know what the economy is there. I don't know if it could hold it, but that would be a tremendous fight and a tremendous action fight because Maidana is a little bit bigger than Matthysse. He's a full welterweight now, and he's got tremendous power also.